Hello everybody, it's Tony at Old Man Wrenching. Tonight we're working on a Rockola 449. It's completely seized up, like most of them are at this point, if it hasn't been used at all. I'm just in the process at the moment of cleaning. The mechanism's fully fixed at this point. It's all unstuck. It will play a record. But it's just filthy dirty. Nicotine, it's just disgusting. I sprayed the outside of the cabinet and it was just running just yellow goop. This wall also, you can see a little bit, I guess, where I've cleaned and where I haven't. There's kind of like a line of demarcation there. You can see it going along. But a lot of the cabling looks like this, and it's just dirt and nicotine, and people spill their drinks up in here and it came down. On this area I'm looking at just mounds of old lubricant. It looks like people would just come in here and just spray lubricant everywhere. So it's kind of, you can see it down there, it's just pooled. And now it's all gummy and sticky and just disgusting. So I'm in the process of stripping this out. The turntable portion I've already gone through. I do keep finding some interesting little treasures, like these bits of broken black plastic. This is like the third piece that I have found. The good news is, though, like I said, everything works. It picks up the record, drops it. I've gone in already and added a Bluetooth module. This isn't complete yet, but I've got it mocked up. This is kind of nice. I made a little plug just to jack into the microphone. And in this particular Bluetooth module has the USB-C and a phono jack. So I went with that. I just took an old RCA line splitter that I had, and I just cut it off. I'm going to shorten it up, but I wasn't certain where I was going to put all this stuff when I was doing it. But I think it worked pretty well right there. The antenna range isn't too hot. If you read about these things, that's one of the limitations. My goal with this, really, just to have something here in the garage that I can play. And the Bluetooth is probably going to be used 90% of the time, but I do want the record system to work, so I think it's really cool. I grew up with these kind of things. And when I have guests over, though, it's something to show. But it looks really good. I've done a lot of cleaning to it, obviously. I haven't started on the front half. It's over here. That's work. I've ordered some new speakers. So it's not that these are bad and aren't working. They are still working, but they're just old, full range, what you would call one-way, I guess. I've got some two-way Polks coming. I'm hoping that will improve the acoustics on it a little bit. It doesn't sound too bad, but it's got that, definitely has an old jukebox tone to it at the moment. Just kind of hollow. So I'm hoping to brighten it up a little bit. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. And I'll take some more videos of this as I go along. And Joe at Joe's Arcade has some pretty good videos on tearing all this apart. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with this as far as a teardown. I was able to successfully kind of clean mine up without tearing it down, so we'll see. I see I've still got a lot of work back in here, though. All that yellow orange, that's just old grease. And I got some down in here too to get rid of. And then once I get it all stripped down, I'm going to re-oil it. The shaft I was able to just oil. But it does work. Interestingly, the tone arm on this one it had a lot of drag on it. I think it just had some old grease in it too, because it would drop the needle, but it wouldn't track the record. It would just sit there and skip and skip and skip. Even if you picked it up and set it in the middle of the record, it would do the same thing. And changing the tracking force had no effect either. So part of what I think was going on is it has a little arm that sweeps across here, and I think this had enough gummy grease on it that it just really couldn't move. And then also down in here, this still has gummy grease down in there I've got to get out. And then there's just a lot of cleaning, like this stuff. Cash box was a challenge to get into because I didn't have any keys. Fortunately, the upper one, somebody had already gotten into that. I had no keys at all, but this top one somebody had unlocked it, I guess, and then flipped the little arm so that it wasn't engaged. And I made a key that works with it, and I thought that might work the cash box, but no. Yeah, what I did was I took the key that I had made from here and I put it down there, and then with a little bit of jiggling, I was able to get it loose. So that was kind of interesting. So right down here this is where I'm going to add my power tap for the USB. I bought this off Amazon. It's a Tron D, and it's got USB-C and USB-A as well as 2 regular outlets. So you need an outlet for the front door, because that powers the fluorescent lamp or whatever other electronics are in the door. So you need this anyway. But I needed some USB connectors. Now I could have put in my own wall wart over here too if I wanted to. But thought about this one for a while because there's a whole lot of different options for putting one here. The door, fortunately, has nothing in this area when you close it, so that's not going to cause a problem. Same with my speakers. I know the magnets are going to be much bigger, but the speakers actually end up hanging off in this area here. So I think I read somewhere that these are like 12 ohms, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if that's... Anyway, I'm going to have to think of something to make sure that the loads are correct and the impedance. Anything else? Anyway, that's what I'm working on, guys, and I'll give you some updates as I go along. Bye.